That's Gavin.
Are we doing the shed or are we doing Angie Ray?
No, I'm just Angie Ray, and I'm in the shed. Welcome to the shed with me, Angie Ray. Howdy, hey. And this is Gavin. We're in the shed.
So we're in the shed. We're not. It's just us. We're not doing our game or anything. It's a Friday night.
It's not even Friday.
Not one of our nights. We're gonna do crafts. Some behind the scenes of how I go out and make the battle maps, and Angie's here to make it look better because I just kind of throw shit together. So in the main campaign, I don't know when this is gonna go out or what we're doing. Um, but where we're going to is one of the cities that Daniel made. In our homebrew world, before we started playing, we got a big poster board and drew out the map and made cities. And each of the players were given 3 cities, as well as I was given 3 cities, so that everybody had an even part in the world. We're headed towards one that Daniel made, and the details that we have been able to get from him for the past year and a half are there's a maze underneath the city that leads to a library. Mazes in D&D are really hard to do without having a maze because it's hard to do in theater of mind. So we're gonna attempt to build a maze out of the shit we find in the shed.
Yes. I did not know about said library until last session. And I also said he's not allowed to tell me spoilers because I don't like spoilers. Tell me physical details and I will craft it. But it seems I'm going to have to call Daniel, my brother, because Gavin doesn't have details.
It's the details that Daniel gave me. I don't know if he has details.
But did we ask questions?
Nah, he sent me everything.
Yes, and I asked if you had what he sent you, and what was
that?
That
was like 3 years ago when we started.
It was a year and a half.
It's more than I can remember, or I don't even think I have the same phone, so it's not on my phone anymore either. I remember there's a maze, and it either is a library or leads to a library.
So we're going to call my brother. So tell me all about this place, except only more of aesthetically and like the details of how I would perceive it visually, I guess.
Which part of it? The town above or the maze below?
A little bit about the town above, solely so that I kind of know the vibe of that, like terrain, and because I would need. He was like underground. I said, so great, dirt. Okay, but what kind of dirt? Because, you know, wherever you are in the world, dirt is different kinds of dirt.
Yes, so it's, think European, kind of.
What?
Kind of like European.
European? I thought you said fake European, so.
It is fake European.
Heard.
It's not in Europe.
That makes sense.
Sure, yeah. But probably, what's a good town out there? Like a small town in Italy.
Okay.
But it's
But like Italian countryside or seaside?
It's seaside. It's seaside. It's a port town.
Okay, small seaside.
Yeah, mostly
Italian ice cream.
Dirt buildings, I guess.
So
like you would see in Aladdin or whatever, right? Just not in a desert.
Okay, but like, what about like? So what about like Greek buildings?
Like Greek temples?
No. Like the ones that you see on the sides of like the ocean stuff. Like, okay, you watch.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot what that was like for a second. Yeah.
So like the movie Mamma Mia.
Yeah, it's like that.
Mamma Mia vibes.
It's a town that kind of like shadowy got formed together by a bunch of people being attracted to exploring the library.
Okay, so the library was there first.
Yes, the library was there first, and then the town came to form around it.
Library suburb.
Basically, yeah. And
suburb,
everyone thinks that the library holds some kind of treasure, basically. But there's a bunch of random rumors of what it is.
It's knowledge.
That up to Gavin's discretion.
It's
Yeah,
knowledge.
that's one of them.
It's what's in the library is knowledge.
No, you asked for no spoilers. You can't ask any more details.
No, that's just Mira knowing. But you're correct. You're right. Don't tell me answers. But like, that's why Mira has been looking for a library this whole freaking time.
Yeah, you're not ringing any bells.
Okay, it's because I'm older than you, and you. It's fine.
It's probably it, honestly.
Did you hear the bell?
No.
Oh, he rang the bell. That's why I was laughing. Why did you laugh?
Why did you laugh? If you were the DM and your
And
party walked up
describing
to
it.
into it, what would you say to set the scene?
Yes, yes.
You see a large square opening enough to fit a giant through, and there's 2 large columns on each side of it,
So 4 columns total.
and there's stairs that go up to the entrance, but the stairs kind of crumble away as you get further down, further away from the opening itself, and it just goes into grass and dirt.
Cool. Now she wrote all of that down, and I don't have to come up with one.
That's why I'm asking questions, so we're not just like pulling it out of our ass. We're pulling it out of Daniel's.
What do you think we've been doing for the last 2 years?
I'm pulling it out of my ass right now.
Perfect, but it's your town, so it's your ass we've got to pull it out of. So,
I keep reaching in there and can't find anything.
The clarifying question I asked, is it 2 columns on either side for a total of 4 columns, or 1 column on either side for a total of 2 columns?
I feel like 2 columns each side would be more aesthetically pleasing.
Perfect. And I'll let them be like stair-stepped columns,
Stair stepped.
like to go up the stairs. Or do you want them all like a more of like a hallway, like a foyer? Like there's up the stairs, then there's a platform, and it's like 4 columns there.
I'll leave it up to your creative expertise, because that detail didn't really matter that much to me.
Perfect. That's fine. I don't even know if that'll show up in the dungeon map, except I'm gonna make it at this point. I'm going to make the entrance because yes.
Yeah. You do it.
Okay, perfect.
Right ahead.
All right, now
Silly.
DM describe, I guess, important labyrinth details. Like when
Okay.
you go in, I guess.
So when you walk in, the walls are bookshelves.
Okay, all walls.
The entire way, floor to ceiling.
So the labyrinth is the library. It's not a labyrinth to the library. The labyrinth is a library.
Maybe.
Okay.
Because that
These
would have
bookshelves
changed a
are
bunch of
filled
shit.
with a bunch of odds and ends and random shit.
Okay, so it's bookshelves floor to ceiling, but not necessarily filled with books. Like there's knickknacks, odds, and ends.
Yep.
Is that a sarcastic yep?
No, I just don't want to say anything else.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
no.
So it's like
you keep asking for specific details without wanting anything spoiled for you, and that's
no,
very
that's
difficult.
That's fine. But if I'm painting this, do I just paint books, or do I just do shelves and do some books
you
here
can
and there?
Do like anything that somebody might, drop if they get killed in a,
So it's like
Perfect.
a lost and found.
So
thing.
it's a collection display of bookshelves, but it's not just books on those shelves. So I don't have to
Exactly.
fill it up with
Yeah.
tiny little books all the way across every single wall.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna put fun things on the walls, but the walls are bookshelves, and I'll just put whatever the fuck I want to on bookshelves. I'm basically just gonna put like clusters of books then.
It's funny because he can't see me and he knows I'm laughing at it still.
Okay, yeah,
Because I know what he's talking about.
Okay, perfect. That's fine. Good, great. Because I'm still confused, so we're doing great at this. Is how this is gonna work for Angela to be able to do this without crying. I do know the main spoiler, unfortunately, but it's more of a.
Oh, I don't think you know the main spoiler, Angela.
No, she doesn't.
Okay,
what
no, I
I've told
don't
her
want-
is not the main spoiler.
Okay, good.
This all in one place. It can
Yeah.
be in the center, or it can be at the other end. The labyrinth is to keep people from getting there unwittingly.
So yeah, that's
So it's a labyrinth more so than a maze. In the end
that's
point.
the same thing. It's just different words.
A
What-
labyrinth is a maze that you might die in.
Yeah, that's
It's
I
a
guess
more
the-
dangerous
Yes.
maze. What I was
But I think the labyrinth keeps you from something.
Yeah, in my envision, in my mind, it was like a circular thing, so that if you did not go the correct way to get to the thing in the middle or the thing at the end, it doesn't really matter where it is, then you would just kind of loop and then just be there forever till something kills you.
Well, so fun fact about our cardboard and all of our materials is they are square.
We have scissors.
We're not going to cut all of these into curvy things.
You just have to cut one into a curvy thing.
The walls.
No, the walls can be straight, just the ground,
Okay.
circular.
Okay.
All these squares make a circle.
The treasure's in the middle, then like is the middle thing. I mean, I don't know if the middle area is where there would still be an exit point or something like that. Like, because to me, that's I guess where the possibly getting all the way through it vibe. Like in Harry Potter, the thing that they go through,
Yeah,
like you
so-
get from one side to the other. Yeah.
Well, no, in Harry Potter, you go through the maze until you find the cup, and then when you find the cup, which was in the middle or the left end or wherever the cup was, the cup gets you out.
Okay.
That's kind of what I was thinking of it. If you just walk through the maze without ever completing it, you can't get out. It's a loop
Okay.
because
Okay, yeah, 'cause
eventually,
then- yeah.
like-
there's no key to get you out. You have to walk out.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's where I guess.
That's
So I guess where if you're getting from
of
one
the
end
details
to the
I
other.
said, he'll understand why.
Okay. Well, that's where I guess if it's one end to
you'll
the
have to
other.
remind me of the specific detail, not with Angela here, I guess, because I don't remember what you're
And
what
I guess
exactly you said.
in my brain, I guess it would kind of make sense to where like, dude, that's at the end of it protecting the thing. He just lives there. He's not having to go in and out of the maze. I'm sure he's like doing whatever. Not living in the middle of the maze. But that's just for. I would.
Yeah, the
feel
middle
like
of the
you'd
maze
be-
that has a little like bunk bed and a little fireplace, a little whiskey shelf.
Is it a little big for that?
You know,
It could be a big bed.
I'm gonna be honest, Gavin. I'm kind of just really trying to keep my composure here.
You can laugh. We're laughing.
Absolutely not. It's great. I love it.
Wait, what? Wait, what did he say?
It's fine. You don't want any spoilers. It's
I
fine.
don't, but okay. So he doesn't have like a dude doesn't live in like a mansion on the other side.
I would.
I
Think,
guess that's
I
where-
would think that the guardian of the labyrinth stays in the labyrinth.
Okay, cool. That's fine. Perfect. Then so do a center point. Because to me, in my literary brain, that's something that I would want to make
Yeah.
sense.
For me and the shit that I spent the last 3 weeks planning,
It needs to be in the middle. Perfect. And it's loopy-loopy.
well, it doesn't have to be in the middle of the time, but it is get to the end point,
And
the
there's a
boss
thing.
level,
Yeah.
and then that is the progress point. If you,
Okay, cool. And we've got ale coins or something.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because
Making
that-
sure.
in D&D, this is the dungeon, and you go through the shit, and there's puzzles, and then there's traps, and there's monsters, and then there's a boss fight, and then there's a treasure room. And the boss fight, library, treasure room, whatever, that's how the games work.
Yep, heard. Or they carved some shelves into the walls here and there, and then they also just added some wood into the shelves as support beams.
About if you had like a library that some poor guy put together with a lot of time and effort, and then like he opened it to the public, and
Okay.
after like thousands of years, people didn't return some of the books.
Oh no, okay, just stop, because my brain can put it together and I'm gonna figure it out because literary brain, that's too many spoilers.
Sure you are, Angela. You're totally
Okay.
No, but I can understand what happens when you don't return your fucking library books.
Okay, so
I had a library card. Do we
I-
need library cards? Stop, okay.
I am confused again. Are the library books shelves, did those make up the walls of the labyrinth, or are they just there with the walls?
They make up the walls of the labyrinth.
Okay,
So there are
there's-
not stone walls, it is just shelves that you have to crawl between.
So maybe he carved into the stone and put wood shelves.
It is carved into the stone
Okay.
bookshelves.
Okay, well then what's the then where's
Like, I guess the catacombs. You know how they like carve
Yeah.
tombs into it?
okay? So like
But
from
it was more
Evermore.
like a bookshelf.
Kind of like the Evermore underground.
The
maze
Evermore
that we did.
Catacombs
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
Yeah. Well, the catacombs are a real thing in France, but
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't have dead bodies in there, so you can.
It was scary.
so is the labyrinth, because what you had told me is it was a labyrinth to get to the library, but now it sounds like the labyrinth and library are the same thing. Are they the same thing, or is there a different endpoint?
The actual library is deeper in.
Okay.
But it was historically, and this is a spoiler.
Okay.
It was all one library.
You have we have a
Stone
concept.
shelves.
We have
stone
shelves
shelf walls.
that make a circle with a big thing in the middle. That is the concept that we have.
Sounds good.
Large room in the middle, though, maybe.
A big enough to fit the figure for. So.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you just draw it on us.
Miniature thing for the labyrinth.
I feel like we have to
We
do
have
that
to.
because if you're DMing D&D and you say, cool, you're in a maze, do you go left or right? And someone says left, you don't fucking know if you went the right way or not.
And I feel like, okay, so one thing I can do with like then we can do the ceiling out of this.
What?
So instead of making the miniatures, let us draw out the map and just let us enter. Tell us when we come across a fork in the road or.
Well, one thing I was gonna do is make like ceiling tiles essentially, and as we choose a direction, then we expose that part of the ceiling. And then you can see what part of the maze is under it.
The labyrinth will be covered until you explore it, kind of like the world map in Baldur's Gate, where it's shadowed out until you go to there.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
So I was just gonna, and I've got with this really thin poster board.
Well, yeah, that's why we've got Angela who's all hyped up on ADHD, and I'm like 4 screwballs deep. So something's gonna happen tonight, maybe.
We'll at least have the plan done because I was supposed to be here a little after lunch. It's a little.
It's a little fucking dark.
It's a lot after lunch. It's fine. At most, I'm trying to think of what other descriptor details, I guess. Anything else you would mention as DM?
Not you.
All right. Do I need to plug? Okay. Alrighty.
No, it's good.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. I have a whole page of stuff.
I hope I've described fairly well.
No, you've given plenty of details where I have a color scheme and a vibe. So that's very much helpful.
Okay. Well, y'all have a good one.
Mactic? Alright.
Third time's the charm.
1, 2, flip. What do I roll for this?
Something again, because it hasn't worked yet. You're not proficient in whatever this skill is.
Alright.
We are going to use these. I just looked at it and I don't know what it's called. We're going to use these anti-fatigue foam mats. They come from like Ace Hardware or wherever, Hobby Lobby places.
Your local place that Google says is nearby, probably.
It's just inch thick foam mats. They just come out like this, and this is going to be the base for our maze. Okay, so we decided to go with 2 of these little 1/2-inch foam grids because this guy is going to take the place of our big bad in the end center wherever of the library, and that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for an actual epic boss fight.
Oh, is this what? Goodness
in there.
gracious.
So we're gonna double the size and then see what happens. So I think the circle idea is not going to work, but I think to expand onto that, where our big bad is sitting, I think we should have multiple entrances to his lair. So there's still multiple things. So what I'm going to do is set this down. And then let's take Mira and Myra.
Oh, Mira and Myra.
Set them down.
What good little models. Oh, that's terrifying. Size difference.
And then let's say about there. Is this?
I brought a ruler if you need to have a grid line of measurement.
It's a Mira and it's a Myra wide. That's the grid we're gonna use.
That works.
So we take our little pin and made a grid, or the start of a grid, or an entrance, to where two characters can walk side by side, which makes the labyrinth mazes 10 feet wide, because that's how math works.
It is. 5 plus 5 is 10. Yay. I do have this so we can draw straight lines, at least.
Drawing lines is for
I'm gonna draw straight lines.
unnecessary.
I gotta draw straight lines.
See, she hates the way I do things.
No, I am a Virgo and therefore a perfectionist when it comes to making things pretty.
Nope, messed that one up.
Is it maybe just the autism now that I'm realizing this in this moment that that's a big thing of Angela's existence? Probably, maybe. But what else is on today's episode of What's in the Bag?
Trying to do this
It's a ruler,
with one hand.
phone charger, you can't see, my tripod, a booty resistance band, and pantyhose.
Yeah, it's zoomed in really close to where the things are, so nobody saw any of that. Now this is just an awkward zoom of you holding pantyhose.
A ruler, a phone charger, a tripod, booty band, a pantyhose.
What is a booty band?
It's a resistance band, so you like
What, when you do like squats or something?
kind of yes, you can do this. So you put it around your like knees, and then you do like different legs workouts. And so instead of using weights, you're using resistance to work the muscles.
Neat.
It's a cheat code. You can get a 4-pack on Amazon for $19.99. Maybe I'll make a storefront.
Butt cheeks with Angela.
It's a modeling secret pump. So you do a pump and then make sure you.
So this leads to our center room, where our big bag would be. It's still kind of small, actually, looking at it, but oh well. Attempting to make the final boss's lair a little bit bigger. So we've got 4 minis representing the 4 people in the party. Is that going to be enough room for y'all to do stuff with?
I think so. And I mean, how many entrances do you want? Because you could do 3 where you do 1 here, make this a diamond, like a thing here, and then do 1 there. Mapping it out for now.
No, I'm just trying to get the size of the room.
Okay,
we
that's
want the
gonna
boss
be
guy
a
in.
good layer room. Yeah, no,
I
that's
feel
a
like
good
that's
vibe.
big enough,
That's perfect. That's a
and
good,
that gives enough room for things to happen in
Yes,
the room,
yes,
and not
yeah.
everybody just be on top of them.
Yeah, agreed.
So we
Good.
took some Dwarven Forge building floor tiles and just kind of layered them out, and I'm gonna go back and trace what will be the entrances to Mr. Guy's lair. Yeah.
But
Now,
COVID.
we've got the entrances marked on pen for our boss room, and this will be our maze. We have flipped it around now, and we're going to start making the walls now, I think.
I'm going. So I realized, I said, hey, can you grab a giant? And he pulls out, did y'all know giants are this big? Somebody needs to tell Mira the giants are that big.
I don't think Mira's ever seen a giant.
I don't think she has either. At all. No. So I was like, for reference for the walls, he's huge. That's huge. He's bigger than dragons we have fought. So how many, oh my gosh, tall is he? He is, let me flip it around. In American measurements, he's 3.5 inches, a little less than 3.5 inches tall. So I guess I'm going to make, when he's leaned over for 4-inch tall walls, sounds about right for him to be able to stand upright and hold his dignity and whatever else he's got in there.
Yeah. Just shit that doesn't stand upright.
Mira is so unsuspecting. I don't
This
know what my
little
hair
bastard
looks
has
like
been
right now, but it
bent.
looks like whatever, I guess.
And no matter what I do, cannot make this little shit stand up straight. He just twerks.
So
Look
how
at this.
many?
He's stuck bent
This is
over.
12 inches, so I can make 3.
This is twerking, right?
It is, yeah.
That's
Yep.
That's a good twerk position.
Yep.
I have tried bending him back. I've tried breaking his knees.
Yeah, and he only twerks?
Yeah, he just twerks.
There's a song about that. Bend it over. Touch your toes.
He's on his way down. He'll be back into the twerk position tomorrow.
So, and this is just a tripod board I have at the house. And, I just grabbed it because he said we have some phone stuff. My gut said grab it.
We do have some fun stuff. We're using the fun stuff.
We are. I'm so glad. It's making a great floor. Okay. Now we'll have walls too. And okay. Here's doing that here. Okay. It's fine. I guess I'm gonna perpendicular this bitch. Or insert PD word there. Wait. Is this straight at the bottom? Oh, okay. Maybe? Why is it? Okay. Let me straighten up. Like pretty much everybody else in 2024.
I don't know about that.
I don't
I think the answer is not at all to that.
Yeah, so okay. About as straight as our TikTok algorithms, maybe. We don't. Oh, wait. Well, that one of them looks straight, one of them does not. This one looks right though, the one I drew all the way up.
Yeah, I think it's good enough.
It's good enough.
To be exact.
The dude carved it out of whatever he carved it out of.
Daniel's ass, I think, is what we discussed.
Yes, I agree. Is that the right line? Okay, it was. All right. Oh, that's got.
He used it the other way. Do you know?
No.
Isn't the other way the pointy way?
No.
Okay. Shows what I know.
I'm probably
Cutting into the other.
and maybe not. It's table or map. We have to pick one.
I don't care about this table, but the map would be sad because we haven't
It's
done
just
it yet.
character.
We haven't even
I'm not
done
gonna.
it yet.
It definitely won't cut into the map far enough to where. Okay, can't see now. It wouldn't be where it would cut through and cut off the map board. Well, I was going to there. I can't see. So if you have other, I don't know, there are things you can do, and there's things you can try not to do. On today's episodes of, I'm doing it like this, but you could probably do it better.
But it might not be correct.
There are other things, like I would love to have one of those like chopping, like, what?
Oh yeah, that like.
I don't know, and I
corner
like they've got like blades you can use. This is just me trying to see what the heck I had, where I could grab it because I was always already running late. It'll work. That's what it was supposed to do the first time. Okay. That's what it. That's what it.
Hey, could you not break the shed?
Okay.
So we've got our map that we drew out with our 4 entry points into Lay Big Bad's lair. And we're going to take some gourd string and use that to path out the map. Map out the path. So
We'll
that's
start one.
an entrance. Or do you want to start there? Which one do you start with?
I was just gonna put one at all of them. Or we're just gonna do one at a time.
I would say just do one at a time because then you can see how mismatchy they go.
I think starting at the back might be a good.
Okay.
Because it's gonna have to. I'm gonna have to remember that this outer port is not separate. And I can go out to it. Do we have tape?
I don't think we have tape. We have glue.
No, I'm doing more like temporary.
Yeah.
I think I've got tape in the truck, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I've just got to make sure it kind of sits and stays a little. I don't know if this is gonna be. Not. I don't know what I'm doing.
Make a shape. So that goes here, and it crosses
You can do a help
here
because
in the middle, and then that can go almost to the end. That way they come in down here, and then turn left or whatever direction let's go to
do we
the
want
edge.
any of them to intersect?
Yeah, we could do that.
Because then this one could like.
Yeah, because ultimately it won't matter once you get there.
All I'm thinking about is the dang escape room and the. I don't know if it should. Well, I feel like if it intersects that close, then it would be long to do. If I feel like the closest entrance should definitely have a really long path,
Okay.
so it's not easy.
Okay.
Maybe not. I don't know what I'm doing.
That one does.
You.
We're throwing string on fucking styrofoam.
Right, and it's supposed to make shapes.
Make a shape. You're overthinking it.
I know I am, but none of this looks like lines.
We haven't
For
made
us-
the lines yet.
I know, but the noodles have to look like lines so we can make them look like walls.
We're gonna draw lines off of the noodles.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This noodle's gonna go.
We got our layout of our labyrinth maze set. We've got strings that lead to the optional ends. And now I'm going to attempt to draw the walls so that they have a map path. The words are hard. I didn't explain that well at all.
We're trying to make the ways connect that are the right way so that we can make the wrong ways.
Because 2 wrongs makes a right, 3 lefts makes a circle.
we've done a thing.
We have very nearly made a complete maze.
It's a maze.
It is amazing.
I see what you did there.
So this was hot glue, poster board, and foam as a base.
Good step one. Rough. The foundation is there, as they would say. Maybe
Yeah.
is that foundation on the floor?
Yeah, it's got a floor.
Exactly.
So tomorrow we will put a base layer of spray paint on, see what happens with it.
Trying to make it pretty.
But this has been a several-hour project, so we are going to stop now.
We're gonna take a long rest. Long rest, and we'll see you shortly. In the next few seconds.
Get back. So this next day, we have it outside using our tree stump table so that we can try to do some of the painting. Plan for right now is to take a spray paint can and get a good even layer on it. So this is what we're working with on the first layer. Just a base layer of gray spray paint covering the floors. If they look hard enough, they can still probably find the way out, but we're going to do another coat or two. It's actually very hard to do this with one hand. You can really tell where I ran out of the gray spray paint and transitioned into the silver. When you get close, you can see that there's a little bit of like sparkle and glittery overtone on that. So it didn't exactly match, but it is what I had left. So now that the base layer of paint is done, I get to do the fun thing of filling it in. And the fun thing about our campaign is the players are the ones that created the world. Each of the players had 3 or 4 cities that they got to make. They got to put wherever on the continent that they wanted to put it, and they designed entirely what that city was. And we talked to Daniel earlier about of the city that he had designed, and he was the one that designed the maze. So Daniel knows the overall generics of the maze. He knows who the big bad at the end is and things like that, but he also sent me the rules of the maze. The maze had 3 rules. Don't steal, don't break anything, and don't seek out evil knowledge, whatever that's supposed to mean. So now I get to do the fun thing of taking those rules and the base design of the maze that Daniel gave me and do something different. Surprise him, take those baselines and run with it. So basically what I'm going to do is sort of set up 3 challenges, whether that be combat, puzzles, whatever, I haven't figured that out yet, based on those 3 rules that he sent me: lying, cheating, stealing, being bad. So I get to come over here to my shelf of toys and figure out exactly what I want to do. Fill in the maze with those minis, the terrain, trees, whatever it is that I can come up with. We did ultimately design the maze to have 4 entry points to get here into this room where our big bad will stand. But with 3 challenges and 1 entry point sort of overlapping, you can go in there or just keep going down that hallway and kind of take the long way. So I'm thinking one of the challenges will be here in the middle of this hallway. That way, whichever path that they choose to go, they still have one. I'm also sneaking some stuff in for Daniel and for everyone really, using the maze and the end of the maze as sort of a focal point to go into some of the other planes, dimensions, stuff like that we've been exploring, and that some of the other characters are from going to, stuff like that. If you've been following the story, you know what I'm talking about. If not, it'll make sense in a little bit, maybe. So my idea is to have the 3 challenges based on the 3 rules and set them up as different biomes, terrains, whatever you want to call it, to sort of hint at the possibilities of going somewhere else, being somewhere else in the future. So that's what I'm going to do with this first one. So the first thing that I'm going to add is this little piece of Dwarven Forge, like cover terrain. I'm going to throw that down in here. And that will sort of add to it, sort of give the hint of the plane, or one of the planes that they're going to go to. I'll throw this one here, have them sort of catty corner like that. Add a tree or two, give us a little bit of a forest vibe. These little trees just come from Michael's, and either hot glue magnets to them to have them stick to the Dwarven Forge, or just set. They have little bases that they usually do a decent job of setting at. I'm going to swap them so the big one's in the back. There we go. And let's see, we'll add our challenge here. We'll have this many of this mutated bear sort of be the guardian here. And to tie it all in, take one of these little treasure chest minis, stick it back there where the bear is guarding it, and see if they go for it, see if they break the rule and try to steal. So again, from the hobbies crafts section of Michael's, I've got these little faux stones, and I'm going to set them here. I kind of throw them out randomly. So let's put a bigger one. Swap that around. There we go. What I'm thinking for this is to get them all in there first. Make some type of challenge or skills check or something to basically have a large wall or something here that they essentially have to break to cross the chasm to kind of build a bridge. And of course doing that will go against one of the rules of the maze. So they can try to be creative and figure out a way acrobatically or whatever to cross the gorge. Or they can break a rule, build a bridge, and walk across and deal with those consequences. I'm thinking that I might need to go over these stones or the floor with a different color or something just so that they stand out a little bit more. But we'll see. So our last hallway entrance here is this long one that goes around on the other side of the stones. And I'm going to take these little tombstone markers and throw them in there. needs a little bit more, so I've got this. Pretty sure the torch that this came with is from Dwarven Forge. This actually does turn on and light up. Well, I dropped it. So that kind of adds a little bit of ambience too. The idea here is a like burial ground, tomb, whatever. And it's obviously it's going to be linked to one of the characters' backstories, so that they're going to really want to go grave robbing and kind of see what is in it. And that's breaking multiple rules. That's actually breaking all three. So we will definitely have to see what happens with that. Throw our little lantern in there. And of course, any big treasure room needs a guardian. So we'll throw him at the end of the hallway. Down there. And we've got our 3 challenges. I'm going to throw in this door in front of our sarcophagus room here. And the shadows are harsh, trying to get it to where you can see, but yeah. To kind of block off the pathway there. And I'm going to try and find something for the other 2. So one of the things that I found is this little garden fixture. Pretty sure it came from the clearance rack at Michael's, but so does everything else that's good. And I think that's going to be a great doorway into our forest area of the maze. That way they can like kind of walk through the house, and then when they enter in, they're somewhere else. I love those little kinds of transitions. And what would be ideal is if it sat right there at the pivot. But it does not fit. It does not fit. So I'll have to find something else. I'll use you for something someday. So having to get creative here, I'm going to take some of the walls that go to the houses of the Dwarven Forge terrain and just kind of stack them on top of each other like that, and that will make us a neat enough door into our other one. It doesn't really fit the forest match, but oh well. And for our last entrance into the stone challenge hallway room, I'm just going to take some Dwarven Forge stairs out from the house set, and they could be going up to the top of the wall, they could be going down to like a subterranean level. I'll decide on that hopefully soon, but to give a little bit of depth elevation, it looks like they're going up, but this is the best I could do if they go down. So that's what I have set up right now. Still working on a little bit of the details, but I'm still thinking about going in and painting maybe the stones or just the floor for the stone area, just so that they're not so gray on gray. Maybe add a little bit of something to those, and figuring out the rest of all the details. But that is the sort of skeleton plan I have now. Alright, getting ready to go into the session, and this is what it's going to look like when they get here. Just taking some copy paper and kind of carefully balanced it over the top, and that will hopefully keep everything I've done a surprise. The session is in a couple hours, so hopefully that's a good enough plan, and hopefully they enjoy it. Wish me luck.